Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to yet another episode of the Graceful Bloom by Sarah Njoroge. You know, kama kawaida, this is a safe, sacred space for those who want to grow into the best version of themselves. Here we have honest, raw conversations about life and about how we can change and be able to navigate life. So kama kawa kama dawa, today we have a very beautiful episode and we are going to talk about how to love deeply without losing ourselves. I know this is something that most of us, maybe those in relationships or in marriages, have struggled with. You find yourself losing yourself in the relationship or in the marriage. So the question of the day is, how do I remain myself in a relationship or in a marriage? Because in life you find yourself mostly leaning towards your partner. And this topic came about when I came across a question, and the question was, supposing your partner was away for a month, how would your life look like? And let me tell you, darling, that was a hard question. Literally, that was a very hard question for me to answer, and it was a wake-up call for me. And I know that even the men also struggle with it. You might find that whenever your partner is not around, maybe you're anxious, you don't know what to do with your life because maybe you don't have goals, you don't have any other plans because your life revolves around your partner. So if you have found yourself wanting some time alone, if you have found yourself sometimes wondering, where did I go? Like, who am I? If you find yourself losing yourself whenever your partner is not around, this episode is for you. So grab a cup of coffee, grab some biscuits, and let us dive into the topic of the day. Karibuni. Before I dive into this topic, I want to recognize the people who have hosted me for this Graceful Bloom episode, and these are Berlin Homes by Leah. And this is a very beautiful place. If you find yourself wanting some space, if you find yourself wanting to unwind, this is a very beautiful space for you to come and relax. You just pay, they are very affordable. They are B&Bs in Rimuru. Najua wengi wetu hatujui tuko na B&Bs Rimuru. So guys, I have to give Leah her flowers because of the beautiful job done in these beautiful spaces. You can come cook even with your family. Unaweza pata nyumba yenu imewabo and you just want a breather or to just change the norm every night. So you can make a booking, and I'll make sure that I put the contacts down there for you to make the call whenever you're ready to make your bookings. Mko karibu sana. In life, no one starts something, or no one starts a relationship or enters marriage with the intention to lose themselves. It starts gradually. You find yourself maybe merging schedules with your partner. You find yourself doing things together, which is good. It is not a bad thing. You find yourself prioritizing your partner. Maybe you're like, what do they like? How do they like their food cooked? Which places do they love to visit? How do they love being treated? And it is normal because in life you want to make your partner feel so good and feel a priority in your life. But at some point, especially we women, for we women, we tend to lose ourselves in the whole thing because, you know, as the society says, a good woman prioritizes other people. A good woman prioritizes the husband. A good woman prioritizes the children. A good woman puts every other person before, a good woman puts other people's needs before her needs. And in the whole scenario, you find yourself losing who you are bit by bit. Get me right? I'm not trying to say that we should be selfish with ourselves. I'm trying to explain how losing yourself can happen in the relationship or in the marriage, when you are all about the other person, or when your world is just full of the things you're supposed to do so that your partner can feel comfortable. You can lose yourself. So darlings, this is a topic, and this is something that we need to address, both men and women. How do we love deeply? How do we love deeply without losing who we are? How do we love deeply and still become the women that God intended for us to become? How do you, the man, love deeply and still prioritize your goals as a human being? How do you love deeply and still wake up every day with the passions and the desires and the goals that you had as an individual? That is the question everyone should be asking themselves. Let us clarify something. Needing your partner sometimes is normal. Missing your partner is normal, and wanting comfort from your partner is normal. Emotional dependence happens when your emotional stability fully depends on your partner's presence, on your partner's mood, or their opinion about certain things in your life. And there are signs that maybe you might be emotionally dependent on your partner. And some of these signs are like your mood fully depend on their mood. You have no hobbies, you have no plans of your own, you have nothing that you're working on except your marriage. Another sign is that you struggle maybe to make decisions without your partner's input. Yeah, those are some of the signs that can tell you that you're emotional dependent. Love says, I am so happy because your presence in my life makes me so happy. But dependence says, I cannot function without you. That is the difference between love and emotional dependence. Darling, stay guided. Where are you? Are you emotionally dependent, or are you in love? I want you to think about this, and this is the question that got me thinking. So, what would my life look like if my partner was away for a whole month? Okay, this is a question that can make you panic when you realize that maybe you have accidentally built your life all around your partner. Like, when you think about it, I want you to think like, if your partner was not there like for a whole month, what would your life look like? Would you still create? Would you still have color in your life? Would you go out with friends? Would you journal? Would you make plans? Would you go visit family? Would you wake up and do everything that you normally do every day, so full of life and so happy because your partner is in it? If you find that maybe your answer would be a bit like, if you find yourself being hesitant to answer that question, that is a wake-up call for you, because your partner should not be the center of your whole world. I am sure your partner would actually feel so overwhelmed if your life was all about them. If your focus was all on them, I feel like they would feel like you're too much, and sometimes they tend to pull away if they feel like you don't have a life of your own, or your attention is on their life at all times. So if your partner was not around for one full month, what would your life look like? I think your life is supposed to be beautiful. You would miss him, but you would miss him lovingly from a point of wholeness. Remember, this topic is not about creating emotional distance. It's about loving fully and wholly, and being grounded in yourself. It is not about creating emotional distance with your partner. Please get me right. It's about creating awareness. Am I loving him the right way or her the right way, or am I emotionally dependent? And let me tell you, if you think about that question and find that you wouldn't be doing most of the things that I have mentioned, like waking up, dressing up, showing up to work, smiling while still missing your partner, then there is a problem, and that is why we are here to address the problem. Yes, we should know the difference between being emotionally dependent and being in love, and being in love in the correct way. So guys, let us check it. Sit down with a paper and a pen. Ask yourself, if my boyfriend or my husband was not around for 1 month, how would my life look like? Yes? How would my life look like? In fact, plan it. If you don't know how it would look like, plan for that 1 month and see whether your life will not change for the better. So guys, what are some of the ways that we lose ourselves in relationships or in marriage? Number 1, giving up on your dreams, or pausing your life because you're married and you forget that there was this person before the whole marriage. For instance, assuming maybe you were planning to start a podcast, kama mimi, before you got in a relationship or before you got married, and then you postpone it for a whole year, and you postpone it indefinitely. 1 year becomes 2 years, becomes 5 years, and you find that it's as if you gave up on your dreams. That is one sign that you're abandoning yourself because of a relationship, and you're building your life around this whole relationship or marriage without even realizing it. Let me tell you, dreams keep you awake every day. Purpose gives you the drive to wake up every day. As an individual, you should not give up on your dreams just because you got married or just because you are in this new relationship. Actually, I feel like our partners are supposed to encourage us to do what makes us happy and what makes us come alive. For instance, I know that my partner loves going to the gym, and it's okay because that thing makes him happy. I know he loves watching soccer. It's okay. That is what makes him happy. So if I find myself changing everything to fit my husband's world, I might lose myself in a way that itakuwa dangerous. You know, when you get married, you find yourself losing yourself, your individuality bit by bit. Maybe you stop watching the things you were watching. Now you fully watch the things that your partner watch. Inanzanga pole pole. You find that you have become a stranger to the things that used to excite you. Yeah, it just sneaks in quietly, and you find yourself asking yourself, who was I before the relationship? Who was I before the marriage? Yeah, we are trying to separate the two, separate love from maybe need or emotional dependence. That was number 1. Giving up on your dreams. That is one sign that you're becoming dependent on your partner. Number 2, giving up on your friendships. Yeah, you know, maybe you had these friends whom you used to hang around with. Na sasa mambo imebadilika. You're married or you're in a relationship. It's okay. Sometimes you can get married and you outgrow some friendships. but there are some that you would have maintained, but you did not maintain. Some of the friendships we might outgrow ni maybe the friendships that were just there for a season. Yeah, maybe you have become a mom and now the friends you used to have don't have kids, and they no longer understand you. They no longer why you don't show up all the time to their invites. There are some that you outgrow, and there are some that you can try keep, and there are some you push away because now your world has changed. It is so wrong. You should not lose your friendships because you're married or because you're in a relationship. No, because friendships help you maintain a sense of individuality, and your partner cannot be able to give you everything. Like every emotional need you might need, your partner might not be able to meet them. In fact, it might be overwhelming if you expected them to meet all of your needs. Baby girl or baby boy, it is not possible for your partner to meet all of your needs. If I have female friends, or if I generally have friends, maybe I feel encouraged by some of them. Maybe I feel so happy when I'm around them. Maybe I feel like this small girl when I'm around some certain friends. And when you let that go, darling, you become too dependent on your partner because you expect them to meet all the needs that you might need. And to be honest, we have different seasons in life. Your needs today might not be the same things tomorrow. So if you build your life around your partner only, it might be overwhelming for them. So that is another sign. That is a sign that you're losing yourself if you find yourself giving up on your friends. Number 3, giving up on your hobbies. Sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what made me come alive before I was in a relationship? What made me come alive before I got married? For instance, kuna mimi. What made me come alive and what makes me feel alive even to date is music, writing, photography, like I'm doing right now. I also found something else that makes me come alive, which is this podcast that I love so much, because it is a safe space for me and for everyone else that maybe is encouraged by the podcast. This podcast makes me feel I have something of my own, something that makes me want to wake up every day and just dive into it. Once you find that you have no hobbies, you have nothing excites you anymore, you might be dependent on your partner. You need to check it. Ask yourself, what used to make me come alive before I was a mom, before I was a wife, or before I was a girlfriend? What made you come alive? These are some of the factors that we should be checking so that they can guide us to understand whether we are loving people genuinely or from a point of dependence. Number 4, becoming everyone's caretaker. Let me tell you, as a woman or as a man, we might find ourselves sometimes managing everybody's emotions. Assuming you're a woman, you're taking care of the children, the husband, the relatives, your own family, your friends, and at the same time, no one is asking you who is taking care of you. As a man, you can find yourself in the same situation. You're taking care of your wife, you're taking care of your children, you're taking care of your extended family, of your friends, but there is no one taking care of you. So if you find yourself, if you take care of everyone else and not take care of yourself, you might lose yourself. you might lose yourself. At times it is good to pause, and in the midst of everything, ask yourself, okay, throughout the month I have shown up for everyone. I have shown up for my wife, for my kids, for my family, and for my friends. How have I shown up for myself? And this is where maybe the hobbies come in. Like, whatever makes you feel alive comes in. If it is going to the gym, you wake up and go to the gym. If it is watching a movie, you wake up and watch a movie. If it is journaling, if it is creating, if you are a creator like myself, you go and create. You do something that belongs to you. There should be something that belongs to you. It's okay if you have something that belongs to you and you alone. It's okay to have something that belongs to you that your partner does not even know about, because it's okay to be an individual. And when we get into relationships, I think relationships should be about two whole people coming together, two whole people coming together to create a home, to create this beautiful island of peace where maybe we can exist when life becomes too hard or too difficult. So darling, it is okay to maintain your sense of individuality even in the relationships. It's okay. Sometimes as a lady, I would love to ask you, it's okay, you normally do everything the way your man likes it. Does your man do everything the way you like? Yes? Maybe the husband, maybe you normally do everything the way your woman likes, but does she do everything the way you like? It's a simple question. Yes, you have joint shows that you watch together. Yes, mnaweza toka wrestling, mnaweza enda watch football, mnaweza watch telenovela, but at the end of the day, what did you used to watch as an individual? Because as a partner, I should not be so selfish that all I want to watch is everything to do with myself, like whatever makes me happy, without considering the other person. What do they like? What do they enjoy? I should be able to give them some space to watch whatever they like, such that I do not take their whole identity and now try to bake them into being like me. No. I know when we come into the relationships, we are different people, and that is why we complement each other in relationships. I am not coming to the relationship to make you like me. Neither should you try to make me like you, because it is in our differences that we are able to complement each other. So guys, you should not be a caretaker of everybody. Try to also take care of yourself, take care of others, but also remember to have your you time, like where you do all the things that make you happy, where it does not involve the other person, so that you can be able to maintain your sense of individuality and not be an emotionally dependent partner. And guys, so how do we build emotional independence? Number one, learn how to self-soothe. Darling, sometimes you don't need immediate rescue. Sometimes not every heavy emotion requires immediate rescue. Sometimes all you need is to journal, maybe say a prayer, maybe take deep breaths. Not every strong emotion requires immediate rescue. Self-soothing is managing your deep emotions on your own. It's okay to learn how to manage the emotions on your own, and heavy emotions most of the time can really be well managed by journaling. What are you feeling? And whatever you're feeling, is it true? Like, sometimes we create these scenarios in our heads that make us feel unsafe. Whatever you're feeling, is it true, or did you just create it in your head? Can you pray about it? Just a simple prayer. Or you can take a walk, you can read a book, you can watch a movie, and maybe you will calm down without necessarily needing to feel like you need this other person too much. Learn how to self-soothe. Another way that we can build emotional independence is another way that we can build emotional independence is by building a rich life, a life that excites us. For me, I think it might be like recording the Graceful Bloom like I am doing right now. It can be taking the photos. It can be building jet lashes. Yeah, taking content for the business, and away from the business, it can be like writing music, singing, meeting up with friends. Yeah, taking myself for a coffee date or joining up with a friend and go for the coffee date. Like we should be able to create this life that excites us, so that every day we wake up and look forward to doing the things that we love. There is a myth of becoming one. I don't believe that becoming one should just be understood as just becoming one, because getting married or being in a relationship does not make you one like the other person. No, it's not about you losing yourself for the other person. It is about you people coming together and building something beautiful. It's about you people coming whole. Yes, as a whole person. Your partner should not be the source of your joy. Your partner should not be the source of your comfort all the time. Your partner can only be your partner. Yeah, sometimes we feel like, and that is why most people, you get that they cannot be alone. They get from one relationship and get to another relationship immediately, because they do not know how to self-soothe. They do not know how to manage their emotions. They do not believe that they can exist on their own without feeling lonely. So I think the loneliness that comes with not having a partner should just be normal loneliness. It should not be like emotional dependence, that now your emotional life is a crisis because you don't have a partner. We should be coming from a healed place to build beautiful relationships, to build beautiful marriages. And as I said, it can be so overwhelming for you to expect one person to be your entire world. Yeah. It is so wrong. One person cannot be fully capable for your joy, for your mood, to regulate your mood. No, it can be overwhelming for the other person. So guys, let us build a rich life that we are excited to look forward into every day. A life that have the individual part of us in it. Another way that we can build a very interesting life around us, or build emotional independency, is by growing. Keep growing. Take a course. Learn a new skill every day. Write, bloom every day into the best version of yourselves. Know yourself every day. Take your time. Familiarize yourself with yourself. Have you time. Ask yourself deep questions. Who am I? Ask yourself. Apart from my roles, who am I? Who am I away from my roles? Who am I if I am not a mom? Who am I if I am not a wife? Who am I if I am not a friend? Who am I if my whole being did not have to be intertwined with the duties that I have as a woman or as a man? Who are you as a man if you're not being a dad, if you're not being a partner? Who are you being at that specific moment? That is why when you invest in yourself and in your growth, it helps you to be connected with yourself. Yes, to not lose yourself, because manze, It is easy for you to live in another person's purpose and not in your own purpose when you allow it to happen. You should not live your entire world to fit into another person's entire world. And I am sure if they loved you wholly and fully, they would allow you to explore the parts of you that you need to explore, the passionate you, the the social you. They would allow you have that without feeling bad or without feeling insecure. Basically, investing in yourself will do. Investing in yourself, focusing on yourself will do. And putting some energy on you will enable you to build some emotional independence. Sometimes some people don't lose themselves in the marriage or in the relationship. Sometimes people lost themselves a long time ago, even before the relationships. And you can find that you need to heal the person who learned to disappear. And some of us, you learned to disappear from kitambo because maybe you are the firstborn in your family and you learned to put everybody's needs before your own. You are the strong one, you are the caregiver, you are the one who was always needed, you are the one who was not allowed to say no, you are the one who was not allowed to rest because, as usual, like, responsibilities became familiar to you from a long time ago. So unapata when you get into the relationship, disappearing is familiar. Disappearing is what is familiar to you. Like, you feel like your opinions does not matter, your feelings are not valid. But I'm here to change that perspective for you, darling, because you are allowed to express yourself. You are allowed to live your life for you. You are allowed to have your dreams. You are allowed to dream big and accomplish your dreams and go for them. In fact, you are allowed to be selfish with yourself. Your life belongs to you. It's okay, you might have learned to disappear from your childhood, but this is a wake-up call. If you feel that you shrink a lot in the relationship or in the marriage, or like what you like is not given a lot of attention like what the other person's like, you need to sit down with yourself. I'll give a simple example. You might be married and maybe you are a lady. Let me talk for the ladies because I'm a lady. I don't know about the men. I don't know how you shrink yourselves in the marriages or in the relationships. As simple as you might be serving tea maybe for you and your man. And most of the time, we ladies, we always, let's assume there are 2 cups. One is broken but one is okay. As women, we definitely will put your tea in the nice cup and then we will take the broken one, and it is not right. I would prefer that we put the tea in both in cups that are okay. Kitu ingine, tuseme umekata avocado. As women, our automatic idea will be to give you the bigger piece because that is how we are created. We are selfless because the society taught us to be selfless and to put other people's needs first. Sometimes I would encourage the men, one of these fine days, maybe go ask your partner, what do you like? What do you like in this house? Like, how do you love your food prepared? What do you like? What spices do you like in your food? Because the men wanakuanga like, sipendi roiko kwa chakula, sipendi hoho kwa chakula. But what about me? What if I like it? Okay, can't you compromise this one day and just eat the meal without having to create a whole mountain out of the situation? Yes, what do you love to watch? Even the ladies, go ask your man, how do you love your food prepared? Which movies do you like watching? Can we watch together? Maybe you might actually not even like whatever they are watching, but relationships sometimes, I believe, they are about compromise. It's all about compromise. So darling, you're not too late. You can heal the lady or the man that learned to disappear. You can heal the lady that learned to shrink so that others can feel big, so that they can feel appreciated. You can heal that person because it is your life. This is your permission to heal that. This is your permission to love yourself like you love others, to treat yourself with dignity like you treat others with dignity. This is a wake-up call, guys. So sweetheart, heal the version of you that learned to disappear or to shrink to make others comfortable. You deserve the best case scenario as well. With me here, I have some affirmations, and I hope you get to find yourself. If you've lost yourself, it is not too late to really come back to yourself, to come home to yourself. Repeat after me, darling. My identity is not limited to my relationship status. Whether you're single, whether you're dating, or whether you're married, your relationship is not limited. Your identity is not limited to your relationship status. Another affirmation: I can love deeply without losing myself. My dreams still matter. My needs are valid. I am worthy of care too. I am becoming the fullest version of myself. Marriage is part of my life, not the eternity of my life. I honor both my relationship and my individuality. Darling, marriage should not make you lose yourself or the relationship. In fact, it should make you grow and bloom into this beautiful version of yourself. So keep taking care of your wife, keep taking care of your husband, your partner, and your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Keep taking care of them, but also remember to nurture who you are, because you should still be able to meet your goals and to achieve your purpose. The main purpose that God did put in you, you should be able to achieve it. Even in the marriage or in the relationship, it is two whole people coming together to build something beautiful. It is not one person disappearing to become like the other person. No. So guys, I am so grateful you joined me up to this juncture. Thank you so much for watching. The best way you can support this channel is by subscribing. It is by telling your friends about it. You can tell them to subscribe. It is the only way that you can show some love and encourage the Graceful Bloom to continue existing. So subscribe, share widely, comment on the comment section, and also share and give us the feedback if this episode was educational to you or you learned something from the episode. I love you guys, and before I leave, I want to remind you that in case you want some beautiful photos taken, Jet Studio got you for that. In case you want a search episode, if you want episode sessions, we got you covered at affordable prices for every session, guys. So Jet Studio for all your production, the videography, the photography, the podcast sessions, and Jet Lashes for all your beauty sessions, the makeup, the lashes. I know I don't have makeup on because today I just felt like being team natural, guys, because I'm still pretty, Anyway, the makeup is just meant to complement your beauty. It's not meant to make you feel beautiful. So, we enhance your beauty with the makeup in case you have an event, in case you're going for a date. You need to look good. We got you covered. You can make your bookings through 0702 1223 And guys, we will give you the best services of all time. And also, in case you have a business that you want to showcase or to shout out, I am here for you guys at very affordable prices. I can do marketing for you, taking the photos, the shots. We create the shots for your business. Unajua, content creation can be so overwhelming and tiresome. That is where we come in as Jet Studio to do your marketing for you, your content for you, and you can just relax and be soft, So reach out and we will give you the best services of all times. Bye guys.